Hello and welcome back to another edition of the NCCR podcast. My name is DeVandis Smith. Alongside me is
Kim Madsen.
how you doing, Miss Kim?
Great.
How was your Sunday?
Also great. How was yours?
Well, I had to deal with some hooligans that
Wow.
they came in.
That sounds unfortunate.
But hey, they made for a great day because my day was very boring.
Mm-hmm.
So they came in and brought a little light, laughter. They just made the day go by much smoother, quicker, and I was out of there. So yeah, I'm very proud of my hooligans. I love them.
I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that.
Well, we're gonna jump in this here, and we're gonna get started, and we're not gonna hold you up
Oh, wow.
because this is the Matson Smith thing. We do not hold up.
We don't mess.
Yeah, we're straight to the point. We're gonna continue with Pastor Steve's
Mm-hmm.
message
Yep.
series, guardrails.
Guardrails.
Today's sermon title is Connect the Unconnected. He came from Matthew 22, 37, 40, 1 Thessalonians 2, 8 through 12. And my good friend, she didn't have a murder the sermon title last week.
I'm entitled
What
to be
does
off
she
one
have?
day in my life. Just one
What
day.
does she have for us today, though?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
This is Murder the Sermon title.
Oh, I thought you was talking to me.
No.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It'll all make sense. Eventually. Maybe not today. Sorry.
Okay, so
Hmm.
one thing that stood out to me, Kim, I've heard that since the invention of the cell phone, that we have become more isolated. And Pastor Steve alluded to that one group that's very isolated are men.
And does this surprise us? Just asking for a friend.
Well, his point was, men they seldom ask for help.
Can you give an example?
Um, um, it's not about me.
This is an alleged example from an unknown party who may or may not have had several things going on this past week, was offered help a multitude of times by probably a multitude of people. And I believe the answer was no, thank you. I'm good.
It's hard, Kim. And I'm the type that always want, hey, you need help and volunteer. But when,
Can't take his own medicine.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty.
Oh, I didn't say it was you.
Guilty, no, I can stand on it. I am guilty, and was interested in Pastor Steve and I. A few months ago, we was talking about that in the sanctuary here, and I said, man, you just like me, aren't you? He was like, what? He was doing something. I'm like, you just don't want to ask for help.
I get that I'd rather do it myself, component of that. However, I'm willing to accept help.
Well, see, here's the deal. It wasn't that I was not willing to accept help. I just wanted to get to a point that when I asked for help, only thing the individuals will have to do is just come in, boom, 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 and be done. Versus,
Did that happen? Again, asking for a friend.
why you got to make this so difficult, huh?
I'm just helping you prove your point.
Well, anyway, that resonated with me. That point really resonated with me. I like, yeah, I'm like guilty, yeah.
Well, I mean, you get in a zone and you just kind of want to press on, right? And then explaining your zone to somebody can be tricky.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that's what.
Okay, Kim. So what are some of your points that you got out of this?
Well, we should love God and love each other.
You're not showing love right now. I'm just saying.
Well, sometimes that's true.
Love God, love yourself. We're not meant to be alone. We're meant to be in community with each other.
Right.
And I love how it shows that when in the beginning, it was talking about the creation story, and God said, "Let us make man in our image." And so God was in community already. He wanted that for us. At least this is the way I'm taking it. He wanted this for us. We're his creation, and he wanted us to be in community with him and with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
the one thing that sticks out to me, Kim, I think we might have talked about this before at some point in time, is about love, right? This whole thing is kind of centered around love.
Right.
And how can we say we love God? And I look at you every day, look at Steve every day, and I have an alt or I have something against you. I don't like you for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
but I say I love him,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and we're made in His image. He
Right.
created you. How can I love Him and not love His creation?
Well, it's love God and love your neighbor, right? And that can be tricky sometimes.
Especially when you're
because
driving.
preach. Like just today. If there's no children in the school zone, you don't actually have to go 20 miles an hour through it, as it turns out.
You have one of those. Oh, okay.
I appreciate it when there's a presence of children. Today, that was not the case. You can actually still go 35.
Well, Kim, so let me ask you this.
I didn't swear at them though or curse them. I was impatient.
You know, the part of loving our neighbors, being friendly. So, Kim, can I ask you, was you being friendly in that moment?
No, I didn't use bad words. I just suggested that the gas pedal works most of the time that you push on it. So.
No. I would just ask, was you being friendly?
No.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't reach that person at that time.
I could not reach that person at that time. That is correct.
Oh man!
If I were to reach out, that might look. I might have been waylaid this morning.
What else you got, Kim?
Well, Steve talked about the hurdles to being in relationship, with other people, and the relationship we're talking about is not just a hey and then walk on. He's talking about the deeper dive, the more meaningful, where you really get to know somebody. And some of the hurdles to that are that you have to be an encourager. And if that's not your strong suit, that might be tricky. You have to serve one another. See previous note. You can't just be friendly. You have to actually invest. And it can be scary, right? Because if you're going to put yourself out there, you may be rejected, and that can be a stumbling block. Somebody has the ability to draw you in and then hurt you. So, come a little closer. So it can be scary. It can be tedious. It can also be extremely joyful and fulfilling and life-changing.
So what I'm hearing you say is there's surface connection and there's deeper connection.
Right.
Okay. Just check.
Right.
Just check it.
So you probably are going to touch on this about introverts and extroverts.
I was just.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I was just teeing that
Mm-hmm.
up. I'm gonna ask you this: are you introvert, outright introvert, or outright extrovert?
Yes.
To which one?
Both. It's situational. I mean, I can put myself out there and be a thing, but I don't.
And see,
I don't do that as often as I do that. Probably.
And I'm in the same boat with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're both paddling upstream. People think I'm a straight up extrovert, and I'm really.
I agree with that.
I'm a.
I mean, I
situational.
can.
Yeah. It's
just not
for
my
me.
first response. Typically, is to be the one in the lead of that, pushing into that.
It's a mood. It's a situational, whatever the situation is,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to be in the mood. If I'm not in the mood to be kind of like Pastor Ryan always on,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just
You know
wanna
who's
be on.
always in the mood to do that?
Who is that?
God.
Oh.
And He wants us to actually do that as well, to put ourselves out there, bring those folks in, put ourselves in their shoes. Because some of the thing for me is that I don't want to say I'm quick to judge. I'm less quick than I used to be. But I don't know that person's story, and I haven't walked in their shoes, and I don't know how they got in wherever they are. And that's where the kind of the scary thing comes, or the not tedious isn't quite the word I'm looking for here, but you have to put in the work, right? These things don't just happen. The superficial stuff that's easy.
Yeah. You know,
But if you don't start, you're not going to ever really get to that point.
you know, speaking on that prejudging thing, there's one guy, that I know, actually, really good friend, doing life with the gentleman. I love him because I love his family values and how he take care of his wife and kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first saw him, first encounter with him, I was a little reserved because I thought he was a skinhead.
And it turns out he just was bald.
He's just a bald-headed guy, you know. we're great friends.
Yeah. Does he know you thought that of him?
Yeah. We
He's
share
going
a
to
laugh.
now.
Yeah, we share a big laugh about it.
I mean yes, that's a pretty stark one, but yes, I mean I think everybody, I think has done that sometime, someplace, somewhere where it's like, oh dang, I'm gonna maybe cross the street on this one, or
I'm gonna ask you this. You're a good friend. You always tell me you shoot straight from the hip, Kim. And I've been accused of having the ABM face.
I've been accused of having a particular kind of face as well.
Yeah. What kind of face, Kim?
RBF. It's just my face. I can't do anything about it, okay?
Oh boy. Oh, we were going to stereotype him.
Squirrel.
Yeah. We need to abide in Jesus.
We do. Really a lot right now, actually.
Daily.
We should really be on point with that in this moment.
Yes.
We're spiraling.
Yes. We're spiraling. Yes. Kim, what other takeaways you got from the message?
Well, if we're not investing in relationship with people, we're just staying on the surface, we're not really serving our calling, right? We're just doing it to maybe look a particular way, or have a collection of people that we can say we're friendly with, or so it has to have meaning behind it. It has to be heart stuff, and not just and you don't have to do it all at once. It's not like you have to be, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture, right? It can be like we've talked about many times, invite somebody to coffee, go over and sit down with them after church, or just look them up in the church directory and say, hey, I've been thinking about you. Are you available to XYZ? So it's just a starting point. And if you don't ever really get started, it's not going to be something that you become good at.
Yeah.
And it won't be as fulfilling. So
it always starts with first being friendly,
mm-hmm.
and then going that extra step, stretching yourself
mm-hmm.
just a little bit,
right.
And keep stretching and keep stretching.
Right.
And next thing you know, you might be a baby Pastor Ryan. You never know. You never know.
Would be something if there were a bunch of us running around.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh-wee.
Ooh boy!
Yeah. Well, I think that intentionality is really important, and I think that I should just say I statements, be more slow to slow to listen. I should listen more. Listen first, talk second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be quick to listen, slow to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. We need to avoid the disconnection and really apply the connection and
mm-hmm.
connecting. Don't take this the wrong way. Please don't take this the wrong way, audience. Not so much connecting to church, but connecting to God.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the connection should be really.
Well, that has to start there for sure. If you're not in the Word and in prayer and having communication with God, you're gonna kind of miss it a little bit.
Yeah.
And because that is the encouragement to go do this with other folks.
Yeah. So Kim, what call to action you have for the audience?
Well, question of the day is, do you invest in others to the same level that you would want them or need them to invest in you?
Mm. Wow. Do you do it? What if you don't? Start. Just take some of the keywords. Just those. Look, put one foot in front of the other. Soon
Is it a
you'll be
Disney
walking
song?
out the door. Put one foot in front of the other. Yes. And do that. And then you'll be building up more friends
Yep.
and discipleship.
Just start little
Start little.
or big, but
Be
start.
be a junior baby, Pastor Ryan.
Junior baby Pastor
I know.
Ryan. That's
I'm spiraling. I'm spiraling. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Okay. All right, guys. That's it for the day. Tune in next week. Hit that like button, subscribe. As Kim and I will try to be more focused because it's my fault that I don't have her focus.
We
It's
probably
mine.
should have apologized in advance for this one, but again, don't
Yeah.
judge.
We love you. Until then, you know the magical words.
Mm-hmm.
We are out.